Hello and welcome back to Blue Tinted Glasses for today's Team Predict show. Just like every week that we have a game, we come on a Friday night and put together two teams, really. The first team is what we as fans want to see. So please, the most important part of this video is all of your guys' comments in the chat. So please get them in throughout. And then after we've done that, we then build the team that we think Steve Cooper is going to put out. This week's a little bit different because we have had a few injuries. So, well, whether that makes the selection easier or harder, I'm not sure. Probably harder, actually. But yeah, as I said, get your comments in throughout the show because your opinion matters. So, Ant, obviously, is here joining me this week. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for having me on. It's one of those, isn't it? It's good to be back after the international break, but this is a game I'm dreading.
Yeah, I'd say it's good to be back, but yeah, the manager is still Steve Cooper, so maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. Before we start, let's just look at a couple of the comments. Kunal, I forgot to say as well, sorry, this is also live on Ant's Leicester fan channel. So to anyone watching over there, get your comments in still because they will be brought up just like Clibbo and just like Tom. Tom's a Welshie. Hello to you, mate. I'm also Welsh. There we go. Kunal says, even Lox and Ant, LCFC forever gives us a wave. Arthur, who's a member of the channel, evening to you, mate. Clemo says, all right, boys. And Tom says, we're going to get our asses handed to us on a silver platter. Absolutely. Hello to Akif as well, mate. Hope you're doing well. And Ragsy. There we go. There's the last one. Right. Ant, you've watched these videos before, mate, so you know how it works. We are going to start off with the team we want to see for the game tomorrow. It's literally less than 24 hours away, isn't it? It's, 12:30? So a nice early game. Normally, mate, to make it easy, I kind of stick with this formation. It is probably the one we're going to see. Even when we play like a back three, kind of out of possession, it's this formation anyway, isn't it? So we will go with this. And what I do like to do is I like to get the easy ones out the way first. And the easy ones, usually the people in the chat don't disagree with. So we can kind of just go on with it without having to consult with the chat. So on that, I'm assuming you're happy with Mads Hermansen going in goal, mate. Talk to me.
100%. Yeah, Mads in goal.
Absolutely, mate. Best goalkeeper in the league this season, what do you reckon?
It's definitely in contention, isn't he? But it worries me the fact that we're looking at a keeper to compete with him in January, supposedly. I don't think it's to compete with him.
No,
I'll just put
it's
it like
to
that.
replace. It
Yeah.
is to replace him. 150%, mate. No doubt about that. Josh says, get skip inverting. To anybody who watched the show the other day on Fox's Den, yes, I did say invert skip. No, I don't think that's going to be happening on today's video, so don't worry too much. Lox, think it would be a good idea to have squad players who are injured or suspended on the side. I can't do it, mate. This is lineup builder. You're quite limited on what you can do. Maybe in the future we can do it. Hermansen's in, mate. Now, who goes next? Who's the next obvious one? Because even Vardy isn't an obvious one because we don't even know if he's fit or not, really, do we? We know he's like on his way back, but who do you think is an obvious one to put in next?
Mavididi off the left.
I think that's a fair shot, mate. Talk to me. Tell me why he has to start, mate.
Because we've got no one else. The thing is, I'd love to be able to rotate him because he's not been in the best of form, but he is our only left, well, probably our only proper winger. I was going to say left winger, but now our only proper winger who's a genuine threat.
Yeah, I get you, mate. Tom says, I think play two keepers. Well, you could argue play Danny Ward up front or something silly like that, couldn't you? But with the current state of our squad. The next one, mate, some people might disagree. I think, because obviously, again, this is the team we want to see as fans. I think the last obvious one is probably Wout Faes. I know people will argue that maybe, well, that obviously all the calamities that he has over his whole time at Leicester, really. But I can't see many wanting a Coley Vestergaard partnership. I think Faes is going to be in there. What do you reckon?
Yeah, he's 100% going to be. It's like, I think if you're going to go Vestergaard and Nicoli, you have to go in a back three with Faes, I think.
Yeah, start getting the comments in as well. Kunal reckons Faes as well. Clemo says Faes, and Akif says Faes and Vesti. Now it gets a little bit interesting. So again, on the right, we'll leave the right wing position and a couple others to the end, because that's going to be a difficult one. I think. Oh, the next obvious one, Ant, is the right back in it, because we haven't got a right back other than James.
Yeah, James Justin, isn't it? And I think you can say the same for Victor Christensen, can't you? Because he's the only left back.
Yeah. And sorry, mate, I nearly put Justin Clivert in at right back for Leicester. No right back at all, Arthur reckons. Yeah. Andreas says Fass. Yeah, Fass is in there, mate. No problems whatsoever. Next up, Ant, let's go for the other centre-back partner. What are we thinking? Vestergaard or Okoli? What do you want to see? Because, again, it doesn't matter what we think. We might get overruled, but I want to hear what you think.
I think Vestergaard, because I think Okoli and Fass are too similar in terms of the fact they both like to be aggressive and rush out. Vestergaard's a bit calmer and gives a glimpse of organisation at the back.
Yeah, I hear you. People, please start putting in now who you want to see as Fass's centre-back partner. Ant reckons Vestergaard, but will we see the return of Okoli? I'm not going to lie. Okoli is quite clearly winning at the moment. There's no poll. We will do a poll if it gets really close. Vestergaard's part of the boss, if that's what we need. I think that is what we will probably do. There's 2 goals conceded if WAP starts. You guys, we aren't playing how we usually do with this weekend squad. We need Vesti's height to clear crosses. Robert Huth, Arthur says, it is torn actually. So you know what, guys, I am going to do the first poll of the video because a few Vestergaards have come in the last minute or so. So let me get a poll in the chat and then you can vote. We'll leave the poll up for about a minute or so. Just a quick fire poll. Centre back with Fass, and we'll go Vesti and Okoli. There we go. Nice simple poll. It is in the chat now, so please get voting over the next minute or so. What do you agree with this, Ant? Okoli is better for attacking football, because I think they're both quite decent at playing the ball forward. I think they're the 2 that do it the most. I think because when Okoli did come into the team, I think that our playing out from the back, improved slightly. I don't know what you think to that.
Yeah, I think Vestergaard's definitely much more natural on the ball than Okoli. I feels like has got that sort of that ability to step forward a lot more.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, mate. The poll is currently 50-50. There is 32 people watching on my channel, and there's only 8 votes. That is pathetic. So please go to the chat. It's very simple, and just vote, because there's only 8 votes and there's over 30 people watching. So please get the votes in now. I think if we lose the ball, his pace and physicality is a real help. Yeah, of course, Vestergaard is probably the slower out of the 2. Costa wants both to start. You've lost that one. Sorry, mate. Fass is in. Or maybe you could go for about 3, you mean. We're going to lose anyway, Clamus. Yeah, but we've got to do this show, mate. It is 50-50 again. I'm going to give you 30 more seconds because there is only 10 votes and there's over 35 watching now. So please put your vote on the poll, which is in the comment section, because we can't end on 50-50, of course. Put Enzo's favourite players out. Mind games. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, Anne. I think Vestergaard's one of Enzo's favourites, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you could sort of put a handful, couldn't you? Vestergaard, probably Ricardo. There was a few that just seemed absolutely undroppable.
Yeah, and we're led to believe that Vestergaard signed his deal because Enzo wanted him to. The winner of the poll, Ant gets his wish. It is Yannick Vestergaard in there. Now, left back Ant. I don't know about this one, mate. I don't know, because the obvious one I think maybe is Christensen. Actually, no. He is the only one, really, isn't he? Because Luke Thomas is the alternative.
Yeah. It's Christensen, because you would have the conversation about James Justin if Ricardo wasn't injured of going to the other side, but because he is, it's Christensen or Luke Thomas. So
I wonder, Luke Thomas or Victor Christensen. Evening to you, LCFC Daz. Evening, lads. Hope you're well. Hope you're well too, mate. Yeah, Christensen, I think. If anybody in the chat tries to tell me that it should be Luke Thomas, I am genuinely going to ban you from the chat. Luke Thomas, yeah, no, thank you. Christensen's in there. 2 central midfielders now, or the double pivot, whatever you want to call it. Even to you, Dawn, as well in the chat. Much appreciated. Thanks for being here. What are we thinking, Ant? I don't know on this one. I really don't know, because let's go through the options. Wilfred and Ndidi, Harry Winks, Oliver Skip, Bilal El Khanous, but I think he's going to be in the number 10. Little spoiler. What are you saying for this one?
It's one of those. It's for one area of the team I think we've got genuinely a good quality of depth. I'd like to see Samare and Ndidi, because I think it's that physicality, and also I think Samare's got that ability to drive the ball forward. So Winks is probably, in my opinion, the best out of the lot. But I also think this is a game that we're not going to see a huge amount of the ball, and most of Winks' strengths are on the ball.
Yeah, I don't know on this one. The chat is very, very torn. I'm gonna do this a little bit unconventionally. I'm gonna put in the name of a few midfielders, and the two with them, and they might not work together, but the two with the most votes are going to be in the team. I can't get Wink, Skip, Sumare, and Ndidi. Unfortunately, guys, I can't fit Chowdhury into the poll, and I can't do it. He won't fit. There's not enough options. I did make a call earlier on Leicester City Down Under about Hamza. I don't think I'd put him in for this one though. Jake says, I think Ndidi has passed his chance. I want to see Skip, Winks midfield. I wouldn't mind a Skip. What do you make to that one then, Ant? Skip, Winks. I think we saw it once or twice with Ndidi ahead of them. Obviously, you know, they know each other well from Tottenham, and I think they've probably been in an England squad together as well. They've got a bit of chemistry. What do you think to them two together and how they complement each other?
I think if we were going to try and play expansive football, they'll be fantastic. But I think the way that we're going to play, I think they'll just be they'll get bullied.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. The poll is going. So again, there we go. That's much better in the chat. 16 votes already. Keep getting your votes in, please, for that one. Sumari, interesting. Prashant says. Amar said, "Yeah, we're past the bat four, mate. Move on, Ragsy. Move on. Come on." Tito says solid, Skip and Winks. Clamo says Skip can't get a fucking game. 25 million down the drain. That rhymes. Nice. That's a good song for whoever's going tomorrow. Costa says, I think Defo Sumari, he has a point to prove to Enzo. That's true though. He never played under Enzo, did he?
But that was his choice, not Enzo's.
We don't know though. We don't know that.
Well, rumours have it that he didn't want to come to the championship, and like that. And to be fair, can you blame him when you've got Sevilla as one option or the championship as the other? So
yeah. What was your midfield choice again, Ant? Did you say Ndidi and Wink? No, who did you say? Ndidi and Samari?
Yeah, Ndidi and Samari.
As it stands, you're not having either of them, right? In the chat. Again, this is a combined team. We are looking at the chat. Who if you had to pick one of them, Ant, who would it be?
Ndidi. Yeah,
I'd probably agree with that. Last 30 seconds or so on the midfield poll in the chat. Please keep getting it in. With 30%, there are two players currently splitting the vote, with the two others slightly behind. Keep getting them in, please. Dawn doesn't rate Sumari. Costa says I'd have Sumari, Ndidi, and Skip. So maybe Ndidi is the 10. Let's keep looking. You know what, mate? Because I can't split the vote. It's that tight, Ant. It's that tight. I'm gonna have to do some air, and we're gonna have to do what the chat says, and it is a midfield two of Winks and Skip. Now, you just said yourself, maybe if we were trying to play expansive football, we definitely shouldn't try and play expansive football tomorrow. But the chat have spoken. We are going to go with the chat's decision, and the next one, me and you will pick out, right, to even it out. So, right wing. Now, this is a tough one. Abdul Fatawu, ACL injury. Heartbreaking news. We won't see him again this season. So, who replaces him, mate? Now, of course, we don't know whether Ayew is fully fit. Another option is Makatir. Another option on top of that is maybe El Khanous out wide. Buonanotte is suspended, of course. Who goes in at right wing for you if Ayew is fit?
if Ayu's fit, or was that if he's not?
If he is fit, yeah.
If he is fit, if he is fit, it's Jordan Ayew.
Yeah, I mean, what have you made to Cooper's? Cooper's what he said in the press conference. Do you think he will be fit?
I'm 50-50, but at the start of a week, we all believed he was out for weeks, like minimum. So it is a toss of a coin if he is. I know I'm firmly sitting on the fence with this, and I'm going to go with a yes because I'm just hoping he is. Because if not, we're really going to struggle.
As Clemo says, we're buggered. Yeah, I really can't get on board, guys, with McAteer. I'm just doing this out of pure faith that Jordan Ayew is fit. And I think that will be definitely one position that we don't need to change when we do Cooper's team, because if he's fit, he will play. Cooper will play him, of course. Mm-hmm. Over to the number 10. By the way, I know people in the chat. I know you have a lot of you said McAteer, but again, we gave you the last one. Me and Ant are overruling you here with Ayew. The number 10, and I think it's no question with Buonanotte out, it's going to be El Canouse. But you did want Ndidi in your team. Could we see Ndidi as the number 10 in this game?
I hope not, but there's a very real possibility, isn't there? But yeah, if El Canouse doesn't play on the right, which there's a possibility he could, he needs to play him in number 10.
Yeah, I think we are in agreement. People in the chat, please let us know now. Get your comments in. Who do you want to see in the number 10 spot? Do you want to see Ndidi? Do you want to see, I don't know, Samari even? Do you want to see McAteer in the 10? I don't know. I'm just clutching at straws now. Or do you want to see Bilal El Canouse? Akif says Bilal is most certainly starting. I think so too, mate. I think so too. Ndidi in the 10, maybe we can keep it just 4-0 Chelsea. Costa reckons Bilal as well. I think El Canouse gets a big run of games now. Yeah, maybe Buonanotte out wide. Obviously, after the Chelsea game, he goes out on the right. I think Bilal would be the better choice. I think the chat do agree with us, Ant. So we are going to say it's going to be Bilal El Canouse to go in the number 10 spot here. And unfortunately, just like the right wing spot, we don't know the status on Vardy, on DAKA. I think the only thing we do know is Edouard's fit, but I don't think we're going to put him in. Vardy or DAKA, mate? Let's assume that they are both fit.
I think you have to start Vardy purely and I know Steve Cooper's first choice this season was DAKA, wasn't he, the whole way through pre-season. I think you purely have to start Vardy on the fact that DAKA hasn't played a good game of football since Lens, and Vardy's been match fit and he's been firing when he's played.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I honestly do think it is only a matter of time before Patson Daka does start a game. I think Cooper will play him. However, Vardy is, although just back from injury, he's obviously played a lot of games this season already. He's probably up to speed, and he scored, is it 3 goals now, Ant, in the Premier League?
I'm not sure. Shall I have a double check? I think
that
sounds right, but
yeah, Dawn's got the goat Vardy emoji, the custom emoji. If you are a member of the channel, there are plenty of emotes. Bloody hell, what am I talking about? Emojis. That's Fortnite, isn't it? Emote. There are plenty of emojis to use. So if you do want to become a channel member, then you can do so by hitting the join button under the video. Go on, Ant, tell us.
There is 4 goals and 1 assist.
4 goals, 1 assist. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad, mate, at all. So there we go. So I think Vardy has to be there. I would agree with you there. Okay. And there is a slight problem with this team. I think it is the double midfield pivot there, skipping wings. I think it would get absolutely slaughtered by Chelsea. However, if this was the team, what chances do you give us?
Puncher's chance, so 1 in 100. Because even at the best of times, tomorrow is going to be hard. But like when you consider Chelsea's midfield of Caicedo, Enzo, Cole Palmer, yeah, that scares me. Even if we have a defensive midfield, but with that midfield, long afternoon.
Yeah, I'm probably in agreement with you, mate. I think it's going to be a long afternoon, no matter what happens, to be honest with you. But this is the team that me and Ant have come up with along with the help of the chat. So thank you to everyone who left comments and answered the polls. Next up, Ant, is the team that we think Steve Cooper is going to play. So, personally, tell me if you think I'm wrong, Ant. I think the goalkeeper and back four are untouched.
Yeah.
You're in agreement? Yeah.
In agreement, mate.
Okay, lovely stuff. Clemo says Okazaki, Ishoa, etc. get in this team 100% of the time. There's only one striker, so where's Okazaki? Maybe the number 10. Okay, next up, let's go for. Are we also in agreement, Ant, that if Vardy's fit, Cooper will pick him?
Yeah, if he's fit, 100%.
Okay, Mavididi.
Yep, definitely.
Are you?
I think so.
Yeah,
we're just ticking them off here, aren't we?
Yeah. So that leaves us with 3, and I think this was probably the biggest talking point anyway. What do you reckon Cooper's going to do, mate? Because I know that you said you wanted Ndidi and Samari.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have picked Winks and Ndidi. Do we think Ndidi's going to be? I think Ndidi's going to be in this team, right? That Cooper picks.
Yeah, the question to me is not if Ndidi's in it, it's where he is in it. Whether he's as a 10 or if he's as a 6.
What would you place your bets on, mate? That he's in a 10 or that he's in the 6 over Skip?
I worry that he will be in the 10.
Wow.
I don't want him to be,
El Khanous.
I really don't want him to be, but and you just got that hunch. It's like every time we've played one of the bigger teams, it's what seems to have happened.
Yeah, I'm putting a poll in the chat. Where will Cooper play Ndidi? So please start leaving your comments now. The options are 10 and 6. That's simple. So please put your comment. Please answer in the poll where you think Cooper will play Wilfred Ndidi tomorrow against Chelsea. Will he be there instead of Skip or there instead of El Khanous? Clemo says Ndidi, Skip, and Sumare. Interesting. That's quite a nice midfield there, I think, actually. No El Khanous, full shithouse. Andreas agrees with Ant that he's going to play in the 10. Sean says Samari over Skip and a formation change. I don't think we're going to get a formation change, if I'm honest with you, Sean, mate. If I'm going to be completely honest. Let's see how the poll's getting on. Where will Cooper play Ndidi? Currently, it is down as the 6. The 6 is winning. I'm going to give it about 30 more seconds. So please, there's only 12 votes. There's 50 watching on Blue Ticket Glasses where the poll is. So please just vote in that poll. Where will Cooper play Ndidi? I did see a comment earlier which I wanted to bring up. Don't violate DAKA that bad. I mean, I don't think we're violating him. I don't know about you, Ant. Like, he's probably had enough chances, but I still get excited when a new manager, a new season, I still get excited to see if DAKA can turn it around. I don't know about you.
Normally, when it's a new manager, you think new leaf and this, that, and the other. With Steve Cooper, I'm just like, that excitement of a player coming back's not really there. But he said about strikers, would it surprise you if Vardy and DAKA are not available tomorrow if IU plays up front?
Well, if they're both injured, he's going to have to. I think. If you're asking me, will Cooper play IU up front over Edouard? I think the answer is yes. What about you?
Yeah, well, he seems to really like Jordan Ayew, doesn't he? So, and like Edouard, has he even got a Premier League minute yet?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has come on a couple of times and done like in the last 4 minutes of a game. And it's like,
yeah, sort of says everything, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah, as you can see, Ndidi as a 6 won that poll. The chat do believe that Ndidi will be in there as a 6. If that's the case, Ant, is it going to be El Khanous in the 10? I mean, we're running out of options. I think Winks will play. Let's get to that first. Do you think Cooper will play Winks?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that does leave the number 10. I mean, it has to be El Khanous, doesn't it? If Ndidi is in the 6?
Yeah, if he's in the 6, I think it's the only other option.
Now, we saw the team that we made a second ago. I know we were in kind of disagreement with the midfield. Do you think this team is more likely to get a result than the last one?
I think so, purely because of the fact I think Ndidi adds a little bit more of a defensive side to that midfield. But again, it's probably like a 0.5% increase in chance of getting something from tomorrow.
Let me tell you, it's not often that I do this video or these videos and Cooper's team is more likely to win a game than the fans' team. But I think on this occasion, I think this team is probably the best suited to winning the game. I think a midfield of Skip and Winks is probably going to get carved open and absolutely just destroyed. Costa reckons no matter what, we're going to get battered anyway. What I like to do at this point in the video, Ant, is, again, I know I've just asked you your chances, but on this team, I want you to give me a score prediction if this team was to be played.
I hate going against us in score predictions, but with my head, I'm going to go 3-1 Chelsea.
I can see why you've done it, mate. I'm not scared to. I mean, I think there's only 2 games this season where I haven't gone against Leicester with the score prediction, and that was I can't remember what game it was. I think it was the Ipswich game. That was one, and then the other one was Bournemouth, I think, maybe, and we won. On this occasion, I'm going to stick with my prediction, mate. I don't care what team we put out. I'm going to stick with my prediction. 4-0 Chelsea. 4-0. I think we're going to get battered. I honestly do. I think we're going to get battered.
It's going to turn so sour if Enzo comes to King Power and walks all over us. Could be a lot of humble pie as well, eaten by people who were very much against him last season. If he comes and makes an absolute fool of us.
Well, you know what, mate? I was speaking. I did an opposite, like a video with a Chelsea fan earlier today, and on their channel, and he was telling me about how Enzo. The one thing that has surprised some Chelsea fans is that, you know, when he joined Chelsea, a lot of Leicester fans were in the comments and stuff saying he's stubborn, he'll fail at Chelsea and all this. And the Chelsea fan told me that he's actually been quite. He's tinkered quite a bit at Chelsea. And if anybody was here who watched the match preview with me and Anil on yesterday, you'll see that, you know, Anil did break it down and showed the differences and the changes that he's made. Maybe, and he has just learned from last season where things went a little bit off track towards the end. Maybe he has learned from that. What do you reckon?
Yeah, and I think that he wasn't as stubborn as people made out as well. Because you look at that Southampton game at King Power where he completely changed what he did and absolutely did a number on Russell Martin. And it's like, you look at the Bournemouth game in the Cup, he was more flexible than I think people gave credit for. But I also think there's a lot of sour grapes if we've lost our manager and we've got Steve Cooper. So we're going to tell you he's crap just because we're hurting.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you there, mate. Robert Sanchez going to have a mistake and we won't do anything with the ball. Premier League upset tomorrow, Leicester 2-1. Prashant says, Ant, will you be at the game tomorrow?
Yes, I will, mate. Yes.
You got a vlog or something coming out, mate?
Yeah, it's going to be the first vlog I've done since I've got my channel back, which I probably couldn't have chose a worse game to go for.
Yeah, that's probably the worst game, mate, to choose, actually. Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have 4 cuts throughout the whole video, and each one will be a goal for Chelsea. There you go, mate. There you go. Well, apart from that, mate, what's coming up on your YouTube channel this weekend and over the next few days?
So we've got obviously the Chelsea vlog reaction and roundup show, and then Premier League predictions next week, and the usual stuff, preview vlog and reaction for Brentford. I'm also starting to, because I'm doing a 24-hour stream in January, I'm starting to put out some more of the details of that, because trying to raise as much money as I can for NSPCC, which is like a fantastic children's charity that does a lot of work for vulnerable children. So I'm going to put out a few more of what my plans are for that stream next week.
Have you set up a page yet where people can donate?
I'm going to next week. All
right, mate. Well, when it is done, I'll get you back on that, and we'll tell people about it, and we'll get people to click the link. So yeah, thanks to Ant for joining me. One important thing for this weekend to remember, as always, we have match day live starting tomorrow at the earlier time of 12:10, as it is an early kickoff. So 20 minutes before kickoff, we will be live on Blue Tinted Glasses with, I need to remember everyone, Anil, Luke, and maybe, I always say maybe Neil because I don't get an answer from him until like a couple hours before. And you probably know all about that, trying to get answers from Neil. But and then following that, literally instantly, it will be the instant match reaction with Luke and Neil, and again maybe Neil. Thanks to everyone who's watched. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and also subscribe on Ant's Leicester fan channel, of course, if you haven't already. I'm sure most of you have. Cheers, Ant. Cheers, chat. And we'll see you tomorrow for the horrific game. Bye.